hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another Redmond Roundup. Today we're going to be talking about loads of different stuffs. One of the big ones is previewing the Bournemouth game. Second of all, we're going to be previewing the Champions League draw, which took place yesterday. And on top of that as well, we're going to be talking about a video from 888 Sport that is going to be talked about towards the end. So make sure you get your seatbelts on, strap up, get your popcorn, put your bums in your seats and let's just have a belter and get into today's Redmond Roundup. So first of all, the brief part of the video is the Champions League draw. Now, I haven't looked excessively at other Champions League groups, so I think in the next live stream that I do, I'm thinking about bringing back live Redmond Roundups and stuff like that. Also, dead quick before I continue, if you want to see Premier League predictions, Champions League predictions, then just let me know in the comments down below, because I was going to do them in this video. Don't know if you want to see them. If you want me to talk about your team by previewing the game, let me know. Anyway, back to business. Ajax, Rangers and Napoli. Now, the first thing that I want to say about the Liverpool group is I know we're not in great form, and as a matter of fact, I think if we played Ajax, Rangers or Napoli right now, I think we're maybe getting 4 points at best. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if we get 4 points. It could be 3 draws. It could be 1 win, 2 losses. I don't have a clue. But the case that I'm trying to make is it's a winnable group, especially in comparison to last year where we had Atletico Madrid, who were the champions the season before, AC Milan, who went on to win the league, and Porto. So quite a respectable group. It took me ages to think about that. But anyway, I think it's an easier group stage than that. But we're not the team nor the squad that we was last season. Like, for instance, we were able to rotate a lot in the AC Milan game. I think it was the away leg at the San Siro where Nathaniel Dini Van Phillips absolutely tethered about 3 of their players, which was amazing, by the way. And we rotated a lot in that game, and it was enough to get the 3 points. Do we have that squad rotation going into this Champions League campaign? It remains to be seen. Players are coming back for sure, but it doesn't look like we're buying another midfielder, and there's no guarantee that when Thiago comes back, Henderson's going to get injured, and there's no guarantee that when Keita comes back, he's going to get injured about 4 hours later by going to the kitchen, grabbing himself some grapes, and then trying to bounce upstairs. It just seems like it's one of those seasons for Keita again, and it doesn't look like it's going to work out for him. Oxlade-Chamberlain, honestly, never fit, and it's such a shame because we know he did have promise when he first joined. I think it's definitely affected him too much now. There's so many factors and variables, but again, winnable group stage. I think the main aim is to get through it, especially through the circumstances that we've been given. But let's be honest, even though we've had a bad start, I think before the season we would have took a group stage like that, but it's not before the season, it's now. So I'm fine with it. Not to mention, we get to go to Amsterdam. It's right. I don't really need to explain the reasons on why I want to go to Amsterdam. I don't need to explain why it's a boss place. I've been twice, and it's honestly one of my favourite holidays. Even Rangers, what a game that will be in terms of atmosphere. You know, you've got Robertson, who used to play for Celtic, Van Dijk as well, so hopefully if they're found their form a little bit more, they'll have good games and we'll be able to get 3 points there. I don't like the Napoli one. I wouldn't go to Napoli away, but otherwise a very sound group stage. Anyway, next in the Redmond Roundup, we're going to be talking about what was it? Anyway, next in the Redmond Roundup, we're going to be talking about the Bournemouth game. How do I do this? By making it somewhat smiley, positive and enthusiastic. The thing is, I'm none of those things, which is why it's very hard for me to sit here and say, we're definitely going to beat Bournemouth, and we should. I'm going to the game, it's at Anfield, and I'm sure we're going to be up for it collectively as a fan base. The one thing I'll give Liverpool fans is, no matter how down the team can be, we will always turn up on match day. Whatever we say between the weeks, whether it's a bit of an overreaction, I don't agree with slander and, you know, calling players names and stuff, but if we're critiquing the players, I really hope they're using that as fuel and they're not taking it the wrong way. I think some people are going too far in instances, like saying our players are finished. You know, I like to use the argument, the same case study before you say someone is world class. So, for instance, if Foden had 1 good season opposed to 5 good seasons, which now you could probably say is world class, you wasn't going to say he was world class in that first season when he was a youngster. But you can say in hindsight, okay, maybe it was because he was able to sustain that. You had a case study to prove he is world class now because he's had the years in the bank and he's got the credit there. With us, it's the same thing, but except the other side of the coin. The players might not be at their peak no more, but we need to see a longer case study to suggest that they're finished. I think Milner, you can talk about it. Henderson, you can talk about it. Firmino, you can talk about it. But for like Van Dijk, Trent and stuff like that, I think people just need to slow the roll a little bit. Remember how good these players can be, and that's what these players need to realise. Get rid of these little silly mistakes. Clearly, we're going through a little mentality shift, but it can be adjusted to at least better performances. I don't know if it's going to be enough for us to win league titles, but I do believe that we can get to a point where we can beat Bournemouths of this world, Fulhams, Crystal Palaces, and even out of form Manchester United teams. You know, it's not been a good start to the season, that's for sure, but we can get back to that level. We might not get to 97 points, we might not get to 92 points like last season, but we can get to a level where we're at least winning football matches, and I think that just takes a mentality shift. The only way that we can be further is by making those adjustments in the transfer window, which I've explained before, and I'll explain one more time, very briefly. I know what Jurgen and FSG have done over the years with the board and Michael Edwards and stuff like that has been sensational, but the only thing that I want to critique is that I like the idea of a small squad because it's unity and stuff, and there definitely is pros and cons. But what I prefer is competition. What I prefer is mentality monsters. What I prefer is when a player gets dropped, he's got the attitude, you know what, I'm going to utilise the chances that I get given and make the most of it so I can be a regular starter for Liverpool Football Club. Not players coming in and out and, you know, whatever. And I know we want to use young players like Carvalho, Harvey and Curtis Jones, but if these are going to be the equivalent of our new signings, I just think that's a little bit too much pressure. Too soon. Can be great players, but there's no guarantees there. Already very good players, by the way, but are they enough to take Liverpool to league titles? That only remains to be seen, and they shouldn't have to have that weight on their shoulders. That's why the cream will always rise to the top. So say if you went out and bought a Tielemans or a Bellingham and stuff like that, it doesn't mean Harvey and stuff won't play. If they're good enough, they're going to play. They will get given chances, and that's why I am only sitting here saying I want to back this team and I want to back this squad, and I will do that. But not for league titles if we don't improve the all-round squad. Because what I believe is that the board have sat there and gone, right, we've already won the League Cup and FA Cup. We probably don't need to win them again. Therefore, we don't need as big of a squad. If we can win either the Champions League or the Premier League, very good season. And believe me, I think that would be as well. But I think that the board are selling themselves short, and possibly Jurgen Klopp as well, if they don't get more players. But Jurgen's been coming out and saying he wants more players. So it would be ludicrous for a manager to have the squad, the state that it's in at the moment, the injury-prone players that he has, and not invest into new signings. Fucking hell, Nottingham Forest are about to make their 17th signing of the transfer window, and even though none of those signings they made are probably good enough to win us league titles, it's still ambition, it's still a risk, and it sometimes with huge risks. So for instance, bringing in a Tielemans or anyone with quality, Nunes before he went to Wolves, all these things, it does not take much. And when we get these injury players back like Jota, Nunes, Thiago, Keita, Boss, but for when they're not available, you need those suitable replacements, basically, those suitable alternatives. That's when you'll see regular football results. Because right now we're not performing and we're not getting the results. But in past times when we've performed and still got results, it's because the quality will shine through with the squad depth. We should have noticed that off last season, and it's madness to me. But anyway, the Bournemouth game, I've just rambled for time. I don't know what's going to happen. I do think we'll win just because I can't see a Wales where we lose another one, but I didn't see a Wales where we lost to Man United, and they proved me wrong all over the gaff, mate. So, line-up prediction, Alisson, Robertson, Trent, Van Dijk. Oh, it's probably going to have to be Gomez, isn't it? Even though I don't think he had a great game against Man United. Midfield, you've got to put Fabinho back in there. He hasn't been great, he's been really poor, but it's better than what we saw last week. Henderson and Harvey. I think I'm sound with that because it's got a nice balance there. I've heard people recommend starting Carvalho and Harvey. Probably not a terrible idea against Bournemouth, but I think go with what you know can work. And I know a midfield of someone who's a bit more creative with the energy of Henderson and the reservedness of Fabinho and the composure of Fabinho. And simply the quality, that's a good mix. So I'm happy to go with that midfield. And then the front three, the only front three that we've got available. So Diaz, Firmino and Salah, because there's still no Nunes or Jota or anyone like that. So a lineup that's good enough to beat Bournemouth, granted. But when you look at the bench that we had against Manchester United, if this game gets late into it and Bournemouth are able to hold us off and do well defensively, then we could be in serious trouble because we've just got no quality coming off that bench. So when I give a score prediction for this game, I'm not sure I can give you the definitive score prediction, but as we all know, I don't do if buts or babies. I'm just going to say 2-1 and pray to Lord Jesus Christ, give all the hallelujahs and all the all that stuff. Because I really don't know what's going to happen, and I'd really appreciate an answer in the comments down below. But yeah, that's my preview on the game. I'm a mess, okay? Let's just move on to the next topic. And anyway, to end the video, we're going to be talking about a little topic that they were having in 888 Sports. Recent video, which will be in the link in the description. Check it out.
There is no debate
There
between Manchester United and Liverpool.
What?
Manchester United are a bigger club than Liverpool Football Club.
Go on, explain how.
In every aspect.
In what in every aspect? In terms of what?
In
Trophies?
terms of-
Trophy collection?
in terms of-
in terms of trophies?
Fan bases,
1 second. In terms of trophies?
history,
in terms of trophies?
In terms of... if you
In
wanted
terms of
trophies,
trophies,
what?
we have
Just-
more
what, do you want
trophies
European
than you.
Trophies? Do you want
We have
Premier
more
League
trophies than you.
We are a
No.
bigger
We have
football
more
club.
trophies in our club than you have in your club.
But that doesn't,
Fact.
That doesn't mean you're a bigger football club.
We have more trophies
We've got a
than
bigger
you.
fan base than you globally.
Oh,
even still now.
oh. What does that mean?
It means that we're more well supported than you over. So even though you got more trophies, you're still not more supported.
You know what the definition of real big clubs is? Can I be honest with you? The real definition.
Not being able to
when
win
you,
the title
no.
since
When you
2013
talk
is
to the
still
real
a big
big
club.
clubs, so when you talk to
real-
Los
that's what a
Blancos,
big club.
no, real. When you talk to like the Real Madrids,
Yeah.
the Bayern Munich, it's European success. Is the you know it? You can't even look at me. You look at me straight. That's the real definition of a big club. European success. It is 100%. It is
Around the world.
100%.
Can I
Around the
just
world.
interject you,
100%.
by the way?
Around the
Very
world.
skillful debating. Very skillful. I like what
So I
you
done
did.
it. So I done it.
He's got to use the best
Very
weapons in his
skillful.
armory.
So, in a brief manner, to answer this question, who's a bigger club, Manchester United or Liverpool, I really think it depends on how you perceive a bigger club. So some people would lean towards one way, which is the bigger fan base with more football fans, or some people would lean towards the argument of more trophies. I just want to propose the question to the audience, United fans, Liverpool fans, what do you feel is more valuable? What do you hold more value towards? Is it more fans? So basically PR, or trophies. And when it comes to the argument of trophies, we have got more trophies than Manchester United. They've got more league titles by 1. We've got more Champions Leagues by 3. We've got more trophies overall. And that's the conversation that we've got to have here. I hold trophies and accolades as more value. Therefore, I'll say we're the biggest club in England when it comes to the trophy conversation. When it comes to fans, yet Manchester United for sure. But I don't hold PR and fan bases as a more valued thing. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a flawed argument because would City be the bigger club than Manchester United? No, but they haven't got the history that Manchester United Football Club does. And when it looks at accolades over history, Liverpool have got the most in England. So that's why I'm only going to put the argument, we're the best club. Just saying. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if I've been dead biased, as I always am. Let me know if I've said some alright things about footy. And please leave a like if you only enjoy, because there's really no point in leaving a like if you never. Anyway, cheers. God bless. Have a belter. Up the Reds.